How's it going, guys, and welcome back to another video. For a while now, I have been looking for a awning to mount on my Toyota Sequoia truck camping build. The reason for that is living in Oregon, we get a ton of rain, snow, and bad weather, and I've been looking for an awning, something to help me keep dry when I'm out truck camping. When SanHima reached out and offered to send over one of their new 270-degree awnings for me to test out and review, of course, I could not pass on that opportunity. In today's video, we are going to take a look at the SanHima 270-degree awning. We'll open it up, do a quick unboxing, and then get it mounted on my Sequoia. I'll give you guys a quick walk around of the awning when it's all set up and talk a little bit about how this is going to be helpful for future camping videos. I hope you guys can find today's video helpful, and with that being said, let's go ahead and dive right in. The first thing we're going to do today is go ahead and open up this awning and take a look at all of the things that are included in this 270-degree awning kit from SanHima. Alright, so immediately one of my questions was answered. I was curious if mounting brackets would be included in the kit from SanHima, and it looks like there are two of them. I can't say for certain yet whether these will work with the Sherpa rack, but I'm glad that they included a mounting bracket option. Next, I'm going to check out what's in the smaller bag because obviously, as you guys can imagine, this big bag here is going to be our awning. But in the smaller bag, let's see what else is included. All right, so we got a lot of, it looks like, different ropes for tying down different points of the awning. So we have, wow, 5 of those, 6 of those. And then we have a bunch of stakes as well. And I am very glad to say that these stakes are nice and heavy duty. I've had plenty of stakes from tents and just camping stuff in the past where the stakes are so thin that when you go to put them into the ground, they bend. These stakes are really thick and I am not concerned about these at all. We got a couple more straps here, and then, oh, we have a bag of hardware as well. So in this little bag here, we got hardware, we have stakes, and then just a bunch of different rope straps, things to help secure the awnings. It seems like pretty much everything you might need is included in this kit. It's not just the awning, it's everything that you might need as well. It's nice that it comes with its own little carry bag too, just to keep everything nice and organized. Organization is really important to me. There's a lot of camping gear that I bring. I like keeping things organized, giving them bags or homes like this here, and just knowing where everything is. So really glad they included the bag. All right, and then the last thing we have in this kit here is the awning itself. I'm not gonna open it up or anything here on the ground, but I will show you guys more of the awning once we get it mounted. We also have a power cable here. I'm not entirely sure what this is for yet, but I'm curious, maybe there are some lights on the underside of the awning, which would be really cool. I've definitely seen that in the past, so I'll have to check that out and I will let you guys know. But because there's a power cable, it definitely seems like that might be the case. So I'm testing the mounting bracket here. It looks like the 2 holes don't quite line up with the Sherpa rack, but I'm not too concerned because as you guys can see, if we line up these 2 holes on the left, we can get 2 T-nuts in on these 2 bolts on the left. And then my plan is to drill a 3rd hole just next to that far right top hole. So kind of like right here in this area. We can drill a hole right there and then we can secure this mounting bracket with 3 T-nuts. I'm going to start here by marking on the mounting bracket where I want to drill that 3rd hole. Hopefully you guys can see that little dot there. That's where I'm going to be drilling the 3rd hole, and that's going to allow us to get a 3rd T-nut and 3rd bolt into this mounting bracket. So we'll have 3 bolts holding the mounting bracket to the Sherpa rack on both sides. And the next step here is to go ahead and actually get that drilled. All right, sweet, we added another hole there, as you guys can see. I might have to expand it a little bit more, but before I do, I'm going to test fit a bolt here. So I got a bunch of this hardware here. These are all 1/4-20 bolts in various lengths. They're designed to work with these T-nuts, and they are what Sherpa racks use. Since these are the bolts we're going to be using, I am going to test fit these through the hole that we just drilled. I feel like it should be, oh sweet, look at that guys. It's like a perfect fit. Now that we've got those holes drilled in the mounting brackets, the next step here will be actually mounting the mounting brackets to the back side of the awning. So on the awning, there are these kind of slits or cutouts, and then we can take these, I don't know exactly what they're called, but they're kind of like square end bolts. We can drop them into the slots there and then slide them down to where we're going to be mounting the brackets. Each mounting bracket is going to have 3 of these square end bolts holding it in place here. There's a lot of different hardware options, but what we are going to do is drop down a washer and then use these nylon locking nuts. It's the exact same thing on the other end. We're going to drop in those T square bolts into the cutouts. These bolts are all just a 1/2 inch, and we are just going to kind of snug them up here. I've tightened them down enough that it's nice and stiff, but I can still slide it and adjust it. We're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. Alright, the mounting brackets, like I said, I went ahead and snugged up, so they're kind of stiff, but I still am able to slightly adjust them back and forth. It's the same thing on both sides. Next, we are going to attempt to get it onto the Sequoia, but I am working by myself today. This awning is pretty heavy, and I'm not exactly sure if I'm going to be able to get it up there and start bolting it down all by myself. So we're going to give it a shot. I'm going to start by dropping some T-nuts into the Sherpa rack. And yeah, we'll try our best, but I'm not sure if this is going to be quite possible. Just starting here by adding in a couple T-nuts. That way we have something to bolt the mounting brackets to. Alright, we got some T-nuts in place. I was kind of guessing on which of these last cross members to use, so I just picked one that is adjustable, that you can slide back and forth. Alright, push the awning on from the end. I just need to try and get a couple of those bolts started, but it's a little tricky. So what I'm going to try here is I need to lift the awning off the edge to get one of these mounting brackets lined up to start threading them in place, but I'm worried if I pull one end off, the other side might tip off too. So what I'm going to do is strap down this end on this side, and hopefully that will hold this end in place so that I can lift off the other end and start threading in a couple of those bolts. As you guys can see up here, I have the front end of the awning strapped down to the Sherpa rack, and now what I'm hoping to do is go to the back side, lift it off, and get this mounting bracket lined up over the edge and start trying to secure it with just a couple of bolts. I need to readjust the strap and get the front awning farther off the edge too. Alright, sweet, I got one bolt in here. I know it's not a ton yet, but I'm super stoked to have a start. Let's go. 2 bolts are in on this side. Sweet, let's go. So I just got the awning in place and I have it positioned, I think pretty much where I like it right now, just up here kind of in the center of the Sherpa rack. Now before we open this up and start to test it out here, I am going to go through and tighten everything down, secure all of those T-nuts, make sure that they are nice and locked in place. I may use some Loctite as well just to make sure this doesn't move around, or vibrations from off-roading loosen it up. So time to secure everything down here, and then I am so excited to set this awning up and see what it looks like. The first thing I'm going to secure down here are the bolts that hold the awning to the mounting bracket. The reason for that is I like the position where the awning is right now. So I'm going to secure these down, and that will help to hold that in place. I'm going to link where I got the hardware in the description of this video for mounting it on my Sherpa rack. Both the T-nuts and these 1/4-20 bolts I got on Amazon, and I'm using the bolts that are 5/8 in length here. I'm adding some Loctite here to the ends of the threads just to hopefully help secure these bolts. It only takes a second to add some Loctite, and I'd rather be safer than have this fall off on the trail. So this is the mounting situation here for the Sherpa rack. As you guys can see, it is mounted with 3 different bolts. This third bolt on the far right, this is the one that we added, and then we're just using the 2 pre-drilled holes from the SanHima mounting brackets on the left side. It's the exact same thing on the front bracket. We just added that 3rd bolt hole to attach it to the Sherpa rack. All right, I'm glad I checked this. Actually, what I just realized is if you use the bolts that are 5/8 of an inch in length, you can see this washer is moving around. So I think that bolt is too long and bottoming out on the bottom of this slot on the Sherpa rack cross member. So I'm going to actually pull these 5/8 inch bolts out and replace them with the next size down, which I think is a 1/2 inch bolt. So I just want to make sure that these aren't loose like this. We want to make sure this is nice and secure. We got the awning secured down. I Loctited some of those bolts that hold it to the Sherpa rack cross members, and I feel like this is nice and secure now. And now we move on to the exciting part, which is going to be opening this up for the very first time, seeing how big of an awning this is and just getting a first look. It's in this super nice weatherproof pouch, which I'm very glad about because this awning is going to be up here at all times, and I want something that is going to be nice and protected from the elements. So let's go ahead and unzip this here and take a look at the awning for the first time. I'm also curious to see like how quick the setup time is, setting it up, and of course putting it back together too. So it looks like it just unzips. You can push the zippers to either end. I believe we just drop these Velcros. Let's see, I think this rolls down. All right, so I'm going to grab some of those straps actually. All right, so yeah, there is a buckle on the end. So we are going to clip this in place. And then we are going to now pull this over to the side. All right, for now I'm just using the end of the strap to hold it in place, but it would be super easy to put a carabiner clip or something up here to hold it. So that is going to hold this part of the awning off. Then I believe now we can fold out this inside section. Oh my gosh, guys, this is massive. This is so cool. I'm gonna grab the other strap though. I love how easy these straps are to use, just first impressions. You pretty much just clip it together and then you can just easily pull this out and tie it down somewhere. I'm actually going to, for now, put that around my front bumper and then just pull this to tighten it in place. And that is the awning, guys. This thing is massive. This is so cool, and this is going to be awesome for camping. I wonder if this is that light. This looks like a light as well. I know I mentioned that there was the power cable earlier too, and I think this is a light in here, which is so cool. So we'll have to test it out at some point. But for now, I'm just going to take a walk around and check out this, because this is so cool. There's so much space under here where when I'm camping, I can now get out of the vehicle and not be out in the soaking rain and get absolutely soaked. So I think this is going to be a huge game changer for camping. All right, well, I adjusted the awning. I moved it back a little bit farther, and the reason for that was that this support piece was running into kind of this rear fin on my Sequoia, and now I can open the hatch. It's definitely not perfect. I can't open it all the way up, but I can open it, as you guys can see here, enough that I can easily get under here, and I could pull my drawers out and still have access to everything in the back with the awning up. So I'm super stoked about that. So far, what I'm loving about this awning is there is so much space here for when I'm getting in and out of the vehicle. I usually get in and out through the passenger side when I'm camping, which is why I got a passenger side awning. It sets up so fast, and I really do mean that. I love these clips. These are great and super easy to set up to hold it in place. And then these legs as well are super awesome. They just fold up directly into the support pieces here, and they have these little rubber grommets on there so they stay in place. If you want to set up one of these stands, it is so fast and so easy. You just go ahead and grab that, pull it down. The leg is adjustable just by twisting it to lock it in place, and then just go ahead and set it up. Boom, just like that, the leg is set up. So super quick, super easy to get this thing set up. And yeah, overall, I am super stoked about this thing, and I think it is going to be great for camping. I'm definitely so excited to have this awning mounted on my Sequoia, and I think it is just going to be awesome for all of these wet, rainy, snowy camping trips out here in Oregon. I definitely look forward to testing this out for the first time when out camping. So stay tuned for upcoming camping videos. You'll probably be seeing a lot more of this awning in the future. I just want to give a big thanks again to SanHima for sending this awning over for me to test out and review. It's definitely going to get a lot of use, and I'll make sure to keep you guys updated as I continue to test it out on camping trips. That is going to wrap it up for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. It's completely free and a great way to help support my channel as well. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.